Okie dokie. Game versus Ducks. We got a few subs on the team. They also got a few subs on the team. Let's see opening face-off. Kind of watch what happens. Make some comments if we need to. Sophie tries to dangle through everyone, misses the net. So, okay. If only Kathy got there a little bit quicker. And Fee's not going extremely fast either because she has to quote-unquote dangle through 3 players. Obviously she's not getting poke checked because red tape, but if only. Or if she was able to hit a rebound off that left pad, but shucks, huh? That could have been a goal. Maybe. Uh-oh. You know, I think in my opinion, this is getting sketchy. I would probably look for a way to rim it down the boards. Yeah, that looked. I was kind of. You know what? I get it. Is he like? I think Ernest's idea is probably get it over here in the corner. Didn't work out. Hits the skate. Ugh. Ugly. Breakaway, and we know. Goal for Hans. Unfortunately, first shift, we get a goal against. Tough one. But you know, bad bounce. And like I said, like if you see so many people like charging at you, you got three, 4 players, right? You make that hard rim down, and you know we got 3 forwards against outnumbering 1. Pretty I'd say that's a high success, like it'd be a more dangerous success rate, but now disaster. Yeah. All right, so defensively, I noticed a couple things right here. Is how it's like we got the numbers advantage, obvious numbers advantage right here, right? 3 on 5, and keeping to the outside. I would say it almost wasn't necessary to have our forwards come down all the way to the slot because you know we have the numbers, and while right, this part right here causes a little bit of confusion perhaps, like rather than Justin going for that puck, he could already been skating up, finding a way to get an outlet pass, and you know how that becomes awkward is now Thomas has no outlet pass. We got a lot of people out here, and you know just that little kind of intimate moment creates a little of delay, and then you're not able to get it out cleanly. So awkward, and we keep the puck in. Now I was wondering all game. I remember Justin was saying he wasn't sure. 89, 88 bumped into him. I was like, really? So I thought 88. I was like, oh, maybe CC, right? But then, 89, I forget his name. Very, very beginner skater on the Ducks, but he's a guy. And I think this is the moment where they're both 89 is just looking over here and then skates right into Justin. So it's a little bit of a collision course there. I was wondering if that was it. Maybe I could see some more. But yeah, I remember Justin saying he got bodied. So maybe that was it? Question mark. But let's continue. It got a little defensively messy. I think right here, Thomas already should be backing up, covering this player, and then this would kind of be my player, and then Justin up here. He doesn't have to be like right up, like if he wants to be here, that's fine too. But see, good pressure by Emily, and then we're off to the races. I think I kind of fanned on this pass. Yep, wow, what a fan. And then fan on the shot. Oh my god, we got winds blowing everywhere. And we go for a change. I think I'll continue to harp on this every week as a reminder for Ernest to work on, right? That gap control, huge. It's like ginormous. Obviously it takes time to work on it, but you know, it's a good reminder every week. Just like how I'll harp on Dave about his pirouettes every week until he solves that. Why, Kathy? Why? What the? Killing me. Okay. What do we see right here? We see a lot of people. That means, what does that mean over here? There's gonna be no people. So, question. Why? Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, okay, maybe you're gonna give it to a red tape, but red tape's right there. So you're really just handcuffing Fiona. Thankfully, and then right, she's kind of panicking. Oh, there's a red tape right in front of my face. It's in my feet, and then throws it up. Thankfully, we get it, but easily any AD could have just stepped up and stopped you. So, not a fan. Okay, so this is new. I like it. Cut to the middle, cutting across. Now, I have some comments here where, okay, so what Ray did is not it's not terrible. It's actually okay. Whereas what I'd like to suggest, whenever Ray starts moving like this, so we've kind of cemented how half wall, corner, and probably magic spot are my default favorites. The moment you ever see a half wall moving up like this, that's a cue for the corner person to start skating up that circle. And then it's also somewhat of a cue for a magic spot to either they'll get open for either a pass or get in front, and then only until like maybe they get passes to the half wall, then you kind of get over to the corner. So there's a moment in time where if this person leaves the post, we can have two shooting options. So what I don't like is how you can see how Kathy starts in the corner and then she's just kind of skating up like this rather than going to that boards on that half wall, where Ray could easily do a backhand pass. It's like an easier pass, and then you get a cycled movement. Whereas this movement that Kathy does, terrible, just sucks. Because interception, like it's the lane is on an interception, and it also, the best way to describe it is she won't be able to take advantage of movement as well as if she was on the half wall. Let me kind of try to explain it. So we can say right here, she's not like, this is infinitely more open than this. I think we can all agree upon that, right? It's further away from these defenders, so therefore the risk of being intercepted. Now, if she was able to skate up like this, that means she has forward momentum, and she can dictate. She can continue going up, she can turn in, she can even tight turn, go back down, right? All these options can lead to the nets and create offensive chances. Versus, you're staying down there, you're really not going to be skating forward, right? Because that defender is right there. And then you can't really use that speed to do anything else, other than you're gonna have to tight turn at some point, so you lose all that speed. So your options really get hampered just with that just with this small thing, right? Not moving versus going along those boards. So yeah, probably hard. I'm talking too much about this, but hopefully that makes sense. So this one, face-off win. Couldn't get it cleanly to Justin's wheelhouse, and he passes it back to Thomas. Perfectly fine. Unfortunately, he couldn't handle it. That's also fine. What I don't like is how he's really set on passing it up the boards like this. Whereas I think in general, I am going to be always a fan of skating back and really separating yourself from the forward. If they're going to pressure you, then, you know, skate back towards behind your net if you really need to, but you're trying to look for that D to D pass. And that's going to open up a lot of avenues versus really forcing it. Oh, right. And we talked about also in the past that technique where you smush all your equipment against the boards and you'll just block it and it won't hurt, right? Because you got all your equipment nice and dandy, shin guards, everything lined up, and you easily block passes like that. So some thoughts there. I think this part was quite annoying. So number 6, I think it's Dave Lee on the Ducks. He's always like right up, pinches right up to the face of a red tape, and you know, obviously it's quite disruptive. He does it throughout the whole game. I'm honestly surprised he didn't get a penalty, but right here, oh, beautiful chance right here. Unfortunately, couldn't get a handle on it, couldn't pass. So, tough. It's funny because you could tell number 6 was ready. That moment Fee passes that red line, he's ready to, and tight turn digs him out. Alright, so pass up to Lisa, going pretty harsh, heavily on that pinch. Not even a pinch, she's just kind of creeping up, and maybe it would have been okay if if Kathy's pass wasn't so powerful off the boards, but Lisa gets sandwiched, and now holy smokes, 3-on-1. Let's see how Ernest plays this. Takes recognizes, well, if you recognize Hans couldn't score, good on you, and then covering the pass. So boom. I won't blame you for this one. So blocks the pass, perfectly done. Ray. You're supposed to cover that trailer. Oh no. You're gonna let him have a chance like that? Come on, Ray. Come on, Ray. So we got a series of defensive mistakes incoming here. This is kind of fine. If you could have backed up a little sooner, would be better, but whatever. So Ernest puts pressure, perfectly fine. Now it's kind of Ray and Lisa's job to find the missing forwards, and also V's job to identify the creeping DA that's coming in. She does not. And therefore, whoa, spaghetti-o, big shot right in the slot. Ah, big save. And then Ernest falls down, people falling everywhere, skates flying up and down. And save. Our defensive face-offs. So I have said, oh, what the heck, that's a weird lineup. Okay, so obviously Carrie Ann and Emily should be swapped around. with Emily being on the outside. Why? Because there's a straight path to the D. And then for Justin, he should be coming around the boards straight up to the D. And is it perhaps this bump? I don't know. We got one bump with 89, one bump with 88. It's a true mystery. But yes. Those are some face-off draws that, ooh, good forecheck by that guy, but things are getting, oh, we get it out, okay. So yeah, comments on the face-off draw there. We're gonna go straight to the D, so I never recommend going this inside path because typically this forward wants to drive to the middle. So you're gonna collide here versus going on the outside. It's just easier. Yeah. So this is Emily's goal incoming. He fights off big pressure by CC. Yeah, it looks like she's just trying to tie up the stick this whole time. Or whacking the stick. And you still snipes at top corner. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. I thought this one was pretty funny. Let's rewind for more context. So puck comes out, Thomas gets a handle of it, and then we could just send it back for a reset. We could just skate it back for a reset. Straight out of the zone. I guess we get a face off. It's not a terrible thing, but I thought it was pretty funny. I think here's another example. Like, I will always be a fan of D to D, right? Carrie Ann's just opening up, backward skating, simple pass across, relieves a lot of pressure. Again, remember for the D, for Carrie Ann as well, rather than coming across, we want to go slightly behind to start off, and then from there you can start skating up. But remember, we want to zigzag, be able to zigzag backwards if we really need to. Yeah, we forced it up those boards and then not able to get a clean one, so I think turnover. This is an uh-oh, almost a pizza. My goodness. Ugh, ugly. Ugly. Let's discuss this shift. It's quite scrambly. We'll make some comments on it. Oh, couldn't quite handle it. Knocks it over to Jess. Good little short pass to Kathy. Ugh. What was that? Hold on a second. Was that pass? Was that a shot? Just a blind shot? A blind pass? Why? Okay. Let's continue. Pass down. Ugh. Pass back. Oh no, walking across. How can we make comments? Kind of messy. So right here, the pass to Kathy would have been perfect. Ray picks it up instead, gets poked off. Okay, and then right here, we gotta get it deep. You have to get it deep again, right? Three people charging you. Could have been a mistake from first shift all over again. Like easily right there. Boom. Could have been a breakaway. Thankfully Hans has scored already, but right? Mistakes like this. Not getting it deep. Well, not this one, but right here. Like, gotta figure out how to get it down there. Now we've kind of talked about, it's not a bad idea to walk the blue sometimes, right? Moving it across left to right, get it to the middle. But in a situation like this is clearly not that situation. And so Oop, mistakes were made. All right. So Ray steps up, gets the puck, goes in, makes all these dangles, and then all of a sudden, did your batteries die? Like, did your controller turn off? What's going on? Makes all these fancy moves, and then loses the puck slightly. What? He stops up, stands right there. It's like his controller turned off. What's going on? Not even coming over here to help? What's going on? I remember Justin said to me on the bench, like, what's going on over here, Whoopi? You just gave up on the puck. Well, I mean, I turned around, next thing I know, I see 2 red tapes in my face. I'm not going to continue battling them. It's a complete traffic jam over here. Like, this is... like, what do? You start swinging your stick around? No way. No way, Jose. Here is an example where first period, I remember when Kathy was in that corner and she really kind of just went straight up to basically where Lisa is, and say Carrie Ann is kind of where Ray is, and say if I was to stop there, or even where Lisa is, that pass, it's just not gonna happen, right? And I also talked about if you had that kind of forward momentum coming up those from the corner up to the half wall, you can have options, right? So I could continue skating up, I could continue going around the circle, I could even tight turn, go back down. Lots and lots of options. In this case, I opt to skate around the circle. And now because I have speed, first of all, you mix up this player thinking, oh, the pass is going down deeper. Wait a second, cross them up, I'm still up here. So we've now gained a gap there. These players are coming in, and because again we have momentum, you can go past them, and therefore there is somewhat of a chance here, and we're able to get to the net. So that is an example that I can pull up. This one was awesome. Puck coming up, Jess tries to swing it to get it in the zone, completely body checks the boards instead. Boom. What's going on, Ernest? You almost had another pizza number 2 to show. Like, are you delivering it to her or something? What's going on? And delivery. And it's a turnover. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize, but to make matters worse, this is also when they scored their second goal. Defensive disaster. Let's go and watch this. Ray's on him. Ernest is backing up. Nobody covered the net front. Nobody covered net front. Where is our center? I guess it's Ray. Where's our defenseman? I guess that's Jess. Coming back from body checking the boards. Ernest saying hello to Cliff. Kinda blocks it. Joel gets a shot, and they're all gravitating over there. Why is nobody covering Russell and Kath? Like, disaster. And then Cliff's trying to dive out. Okay, I can kind of see why they didn't call it. So, like, pretty far out the crease, and Cliff's kind of going for it, and puck's loose, and Russell knocks it in, and I guess with Cliff pushing, diving, yeah, knocks out Russell's feet. So it's not as really malicious as we thought on the bench. Unfortunately, I think it was Cliff's head or knee didn't feel so well. But you know, this doesn't happen if we don't have her controllers turning off and just staring at the puck like, what? Oh, goodness. We got the zero defense in front of Cliff here. Oh boy. So this shift coming up was probably one of our best ones in terms of zone time and chances combined together. He was able to handle a good stretch pass there. Skates in, dangling through 3 people again, and able to keep it on her stick, so very nice. And I like the patience where she doesn't throw it away. She's holding on to the puck the entire time. I like it. Sees no good option, passes up to Carrie Ann. Now Carrie Ann, I would like to also talk about that if she can have confidence to walk that blue now, like at this point it's okay. It's a little different from what Ernest had with all those forwards charging at him. She has a little bit of time, a little bit of space right here, just a little bit. But opts to pass it down. That's perfectly, it's fine. That's fine as well. But if she's, you know, has the confidence to skate it up a little bit, definitely take it. So shot down, couldn't quite hit the net, and 2 forwards in front couldn't get a piece of it. A little bit of a mad scramble going on here, and then pass it up to Carrie Ann. So sees no good passing option. I like that she's looking up, right? So she sees this not cut off, and so passing probably not the best option, but I would probably advise, with so many players out like this, running it down the boards is probably going to be the safest choice. Goes for the super risky, dangerous chant like option. Works out in this case, but certainly risky. Now from here, Thomas opts to do a one-timer, but I think, in my opinion, if he was able to gather it, skate in, and then shoot from here, would have been super deadly. But okay, one-timer misses wide of the net. Justin battling with Hans there. He tries to get it back down low. Right here, I did shoot it. I did hit the post, and if you freeze frame, I just thought, like, that's a lot of space to shoot at. And the puck was kind of free, so that was my thinking. Obviously, we can see right here, Justin is like wide open, completely unchecked, so that'd probably have been the better play. But we got a chance, so it's not the worst. And here's another example. In this case, I didn't receive a pass, but here's kind of like option 2. We know how I said if you're coming up the wall, you can continue going up, you can go around the circle, you can even tight turn, go back down. Those are like 3 simple options. There's so many that you can come off of this, but again, the point is they're closing off going into the circle, so another option is just continue skating and then look for a pass, right? Which I did. Now, in this similar situation, if Carrie Ann decides to skate down, this is such an, like, this is another option, right? So where drop pass into Carrie Ann comes in, and then we've created another offensive opportunity like that. So movement like this helps facilitate you know, free, like, more offensive chances. And again, we also can go back to the basics of how do we start that cycle movement, and really is the basis of that. But let's continue. One-timer opportunity, Thomas opts for the one-timer. Again, I think right here, if he was able to settle it down and then skate down and go for a shot, probably is the better opportunity. Given like how heavily biased the Ducks are coming on this side. So, you know, something to think about for all the D. One-timer shoots it a little bit wide of the net. Now Thomas goes for the pinch. I like it. Stops the puck. He timed it kind of really perfectly. And again, what is a pinch is when like opponent's coming up and the D's coming down, right? You're pinching. And then we just got to make sure someone covers, whether the D comes across, whether a forward. It doesn't have to be like the center. It's just anyone that's closest covers up for that D that pinches in, and we're going to be in good shape. So Thomas keeps it down low, and now like he could easily stay down there, and we can work a triangle similar like this. So remember, like if we're fluid with positions, a lot of things can open up as well. And so they rim it up, we hold it in. And this whole time we're still in the zone, right? And here's another example of if Carrie Ann has that confidence to, you can walk that blue line, come to the middle, go for a shot, even skate it into the zone, you know? Don't have that confidence to mix it up rather than being stationary up here and forcing yourself to just pass down the boards. Get some creativity in there. And another thing I wanted to note is I had an opportunity to change on the fly right here, and so we can get a fresh body for Ray. And if we I guess it's more difficult for the forwards, but if the forwards can figure out how to do that, changing on the fly while keeping the puck in the zone, it's going to be completely game changing. So Justin has the puck right now and he passes up to Ray. And so this would be a really good opportunity for Fee to come out, change off for another player. And then if we're able to keep it in the zone a little bit longer, and then that's probably going to signify Justin comes off for change and comes in. And so we got a 3-person forward swap, full energy with tired defense. And so you can kind of see how that can really swing in our favor. So pass up to Thomas. Yeah, it was a good try. Unfortunately, we couldn't keep it in the zone, but I thought that whole shift was quite good, and I think we had some examples and some comments, specifically more for the D. Yeah. We talked about bad habits last week and how Ray was getting good social. What the fuck was that? Why? Like you decide to like go back to your sharp angle shots again? Like what's going on? Why would you shoot from there? Why can't you do anything else with that? And you know what, I noticed this too. I think right here, if Justin, if you time it perfectly, this is such a good avenue right here. This is going to be deadly. You cut into that middle crossing. Oh god, one timer. Like, not a huge fan of you just kind of straight lining on that far side. Or, you know, alternatively, I would have preferred you channel some of your inner Alex hustle, right? That moment he crossed that blue line, he's hustling so hard. Like a complete freight train going down there. So, I don't know. Both of our forwards are a little bit on the cruising the snooze fest right here. Nobody going to the net front. So a bit boring. I thought this was hilarious. So so Jess and CC are battling stick lift, a little kind of stick lift, and then did Jess just like reach down and grab it? That's so funny. What happened there? Did you grab it or did it get hooked around? That's so funny. And then Kathy comes in, shoots from range. I mean, if you were to compare this shot with Ray's shot, this is going to be way better. A bit. So, I think shooting from here is fine. I think the only thing is there's no deception. She's not coming with speed. Like if you can get a little bit more speed, you can at least move the goalie a little bit, or if you're gonna like pump fake or even move, yeah, I don't know. Not so sure about that shot, but the more important one was the Jess holding the stick was pretty funny. All right, so this one, we're all getting ready for a one-timer, and I heard the other players were telling someone to come across. And you can see Shoal's still coming on. They don't have all the players on the ice, and right here is when I noticed. Right here, you can see how my head turns. Like they have a player still behind Kathy, so I thought they'd wait for the puck drop. Obviously, that's not the case, and the puck's already at my feet. So, that's my bad. But I also didn't think they'd drop it quite yet. So that's unfortunate. So this one was a pretty good play by Lisa, who was subbing for us. Comes up, sees a lot of pressure, curls back around, passes it across. Boom! Sick play. And Jess is coming up with speed, straight down the middle, fires it. Saved by the goalie. So face-off win. Justin bumps it back to Ernest, and it rays on that half wall again. I think these are bad habits. We're going back to old bad habits, where that straight back door with 3 players defending in front. We gotta create some movement. You know, in my opinion. Otherwise, you're forcing Ray to do silly stuff like this, trying to sauce pass over 3 people on top of the goalie's head to Justin, like on the back door. Like, in what world is that gonna happen? It's not. So, if you ever see this, especially Ray's coming down to the corner, we should be seeing someone coming up like this. Like, in my opinion, it could be Emily, it could be Justin, but you know, someone rotating up and then someone to that half wall creates movement. Or if you don't want to go over there, get behind the net, you know, so that Ray has an option to pass to. He's getting quickly closed off, and there's no way in chance that a puck's gonna go up there. So yeah, I think that's kind of bad old habits. We're not really supporting each other. We're just kind of parking our booties in front of the net, hoping for Ray to be a miracle worker. Shot on goal. So, some thoughts there. I've kind of briefly talked about this to Kathy in the past, where she has this, the way she skates is very, I would say, aggressive, or at least turning wise. And this one's pretty funny, where boom, she turns so hard that her whole body's like doing a twisting pirouette, and that's not even the most aggressive. And I do wonder if that is perhaps putting a lot of strain on your knee, but I'll try to see if I can find some other examples where you're like really aggressively stopping and turning. Maybe not so much the stopping, it's the turning. I'm kind of wondering if the twisting is being harsh. We've had a history of showing banana peels. This one's a pretty big one. Boom! Oh my god, who put that there? Here's an example. See how like sharp Kathy turns there, and that's again not even close to being what her usual boom, right? I feel like that's and oftentimes she's doing that at like high speeds. You know, I wonder. It's just some thoughts. So some defensive positioning lapsing. Where's Kathy? Where's the Kathy? Thankfully, number 19 does not really shoot for the most part. I don't think he actually ever shoots. So, but defensive lapses. Here is an example of, I think, so Ray's going to the half wall, and you know, we know Emily's in front of the net. I think Kathy, like, he's gotta either help out there or help out there. somewhere in a good open space. Terrible spot, right? And then get intercepted. So tough one. So I did say, oh my goodness. Hold on, before I say that. Oh no. Oh my god. Disaster. Holy smokes, could have been a goal right there. Why are we not clearing it out? Get it behind the net. Get it behind the net. Get it behind the net. Oh no. I'll give it to you, Ernest. You got confidence to try to dangle. You just couldn't get it, and then you lost it to the slot. But yeah. Let's try not to be so risky. Okay, let's go back to the original topic. I did say I'm gonna name and shame players that are taking a long shift. We got Ray and Kathy taking a 2-minute 55-second shift, no face-offs in between on the last one. That's a pretty long one. Now I'm not too unhappy about Ray. He was taking short ones all night long, so one long one, I'll give him the pass. And I wasn't really kind of paying attention to Kathy and Justin's side, but that one stuck out. I think I wanted to highlight this. So Justin had a little bit of a defensive lapse earlier on, but right now he's back to covering the D. Perfect. That's what we want to see. And we've said if the D comes down, we want him to come down. So perfect job matching Hans, right, on that defensive zone. And right here we can see Emily's made that mistake, leaving number 6 behind. So we can expect probably number 6 might get a puck, and he does. Well, almost uncontested. Really, remember, we got to get our wingers on the D, and then everyone else ties up with the forward. So good job there. And you know what, to props to Justin, he's been following defensively on the D for most of the night, aside from the one when I pointed out. So but you know what, let's continue. This kind of defensive action looked pretty sketch. That's some bullshit right there. What is that? Should be a penalty. Red tape. Not even that's some bullshit, man. Number 6 again. Why? This is fucking ridiculous, man. How does he not get a penalty? Let's do it again. That's some fucking bullshit right there. And he whacks it back. That's some fucking bullshit. Alright, so backhand pass to Justin. Ernest goes for the back. See, I'm not a huge fan of that. In my opinion, Justin's in a really good spot for him to, one, you can tight turn back. He can drive the net. Lots of things. And of the list of things that I think he could do that would really put him in all the strengths that he has, he flips it out like that. I don't know. Not as big of a fan. Alright, I did say I keep that trend of calling out people with long shifts now. Justin has a 3 minutes and 25 second shift this time with 20 seconds of face-off time, so let's call it 3 minutes and 5 seconds. We got a competition of longest shifts in the third period between Kathy and Justin. That was tremendously long. Alright, last 2 minutes of the game. I don't think there's any face-off, so let's just watch it all. Why not? Why not? Make some comments on the way. So, first comment here. I think Kathy should put more effort being closer to the net for maybe a tip chance, or even just screen the goalie so you don't have to park in front, just cut across so you can go like left to right, and then, you know, if the puck ever goes in the corner, you can just loop back around, but that'll kind of mess with the goalie's vision. So that's one comment. Let's kind of watch here. So working there together. Ugh, I don't like. Who was that pass supposed to be for? Wasn't really to anyone. It was like perfectly to Melissa. And I think that kind of has that point where I'm saying, like, if you don't think there's any pass, start moving, and that's always going to be a cue for people to start moving there. And then so from there you have options. You can pass up, you can loop it back down, and because you're moving, you can curl it yourself, skate it out. Lots and lots of options. So don't be stationary unless there's something that you see that's telling you to be stationary. So that's on with that. Yeah, let's just rewind. Like if Kathy skates, for anyone from the corner, this should be a cue for Emily or whoever is on the half wall to start moving around the circle. Cue for this one to move back, right? So you start that spin cycle. We haven't done that in a while or even all season long, so maybe something that we can all aim towards. But let's continue. Tenacious. Yeah, here again, I think if Kathy is able to settle it down and even skate down, I get the idea, but maybe she's just forcing it a little bit too much rather than finding settling it down in more room. Oh, gotta pause here. Let's come back once I get it. All right, we're back in action. So now that's a little bit better on Kathy. She's more in line with the net and maybe could have gotten a piece of that shot, right? Her stick was there, so this is better. Couldn't quite get that rebound, gets shot out, and Jess is not able to keep it in. That's okay. 58 seconds left. So, yeah, I honestly thought that was for Ernest, but it basically was. Ends up he's able to somewhat skate it in, or at least try to. Reset. I think at this point, let's kind of rewind here. Because we failed here, I think it made more sense to really like settle it back, come back, and then go with speed versus you're kind of rushing it up already. It almost worked, but maybe we got a little too excited for a moment there, and so because of that, it's kind of a turnover. Thankfully, Ray was able to get it back in. So let's see. Why? Why do you do that, Ray? Can you? Okay. He knows there's pressure behind him, right? There's literally a stick in his face right here. And he could easily just come up the boards and same theme. You know what? This will be the theme of this game. Why are we not going up the boards and using the edge of the circle? He could do this, he could do that, and then he can turn back around if he opts to there. But right now there's so much pressure on him. He says, why don't I stop and turn and then bump into them? And then now he gets surrounded. Who would have figured, That is this disappointment, Ray. Shot tipped wide of the net. Unfortunately, I wish I could have raised it. Probably needed to turn my blade a bit better, but it was a good chance. Jess keeps it in. I think a little bit. I think Hmm. I was gonna say maybe you could have walked the line, but I think CC was getting kind of close. So um, I think safe play always is down the boards, or if you're able to get it off quickly, you can do D to D to Ernest. Again, that's also risky, but sometimes we've pulled the goalie. We got 6 on 5, 18, 20 seconds left. You know, being risky is okay. Risk it for the biscuit, right? So I think that was a shot-ish, and Jess was able to keep it in. I like it. Now this was the glorious chance right here. Ray gets that pass, settles down, loses it, falls backwards. He still has time to settle it down. And then he's loading up. Fans on it. Oh, shucks. Shucks, shucks, shucks. Now, yeah, I can see Justin tried to maybe... He was in the right position to tip it if it went more in the net. And then I think Guillaume, same thing, like with the comment with Kathy, if he can come a little bit closer, we could probably get 2 bodies with good chances on tipping. But yeah, if only Ray was able to load up his usual powerful shot, we probably had a good chance right there. But I think the worst play was this one. Oh, there's just so much space. There's so much space. So much space. Like, you could have literally just separated yourself a little bit. And look, Ernest is in such a good spot to absolutely boom it. Anyways, it was a pretty fun game. You know, in my opinion, but you know, a little bit of some BS happening here and there. What else? What are some other comments? That's it. Long shifts. Yeah, that was kind of not good, but hopefully we can fix on that. And yeah,